Hit it. Hit it. Hey again. Oh, and we're back.
Bounce back. Wrong
Back,
button, bounce back.
right? Right. We're back with the lives, back with the music, back
Right?
talking about Women Connected in Wisdom, Volume 2.
Right? Talking about
Yes.
the 8 dimensions of wellness
Mhm.
as seen from the perspective of 12 wise women.
It's been so beautiful. Beautiful. And here's Sula. The
We'll pull
party
her
is
up.
starting again.
Party is starting. Hello.
Hey, Sula.
How
How
are
have you
you?
been?
I'm good. At least this time I know what to expect.
Mhm.
So we are live. So we're live streaming. We were just talking about the 8 dimensions of wellness through the different perspectives of 12 very diverse authors, diverse in age, diverse in life experience, diverse in ethnicities, diverse in global location, like in place, right? It is so fascinating to me, this being our second book, how we can be so different and so many common threads around wellness, especially as people who identify as women. So, Sula, what have you done for self care today?
Whew.
Mm.
I had a delicious breakfast with just phenomenal company, companionship, and took the time to slow down and had a long, connective conversation. So,
Beautiful. And I
and
think,
go ahead.
go ahead. No, please finish. What else did you do?
Okay. And towards the end of the conversation, another friend had joined us, and I do something. I stick my phone inside my shirt all the time to carry it around. And
Mm.
a friend who joined us was like, I am really concerned about that. And, it was a pause. Someone is telling me something that I might need to listen to. So I actually listened to a piece of advice. I don't know if I will never stick my phone in
Mhm.
my shirt again, but it's like something that I can now think about. So
Mhm. That makes sense. Hey, Marla, welcome, welcome. Let's see if she can get on here. We've been having some tech, some black screens, some black boxes today, but that's okay. We'll figure it out. Beautiful. And I hear what you're saying, Sula. So I have a question for you.
yeah.
How do you usually feel about advice? Is that something that you usually would not have been so open to receiving, and that's why you put it on your self-care list for the day?
I am very blessed with most people in my community that will ask me if I'd like advice first.
Mhm.
And because she said, "May I share something that sometimes worries me?" I was like, "Why, yes." And so it just created this opening to really hear it.
Yes,
Um, and because I heard it, that's why it landed on the self care list.
I hear you. I hear you. Thank you. Hi, Marla. Welcome to the live.
How are y'all?
Good. How are you feeling today? How have you been? Happy launch day.
Good, good. Thank you. Happy lunch day to y'all. How are you feeling? How's it
Thank you.
been?
It's been exciting having different lives, different conversations, different platforms. Gave you a shout out earlier about the cover and how you did such an amazing job for the project.
Thank you. Thank
Of
you.
course. Yeah,
Really
that was
fun.
Christine. Yeah, she made sure to throw your name in there. Yes, definitely deserve to be given your shout out.
Thank you. Thank you. It's so good to see you both and you as well,
Yes,
Sula.
thank you. So how have you been feeling about the launch? Women Connected in Wisdom Volume 2. Where are you at with it?
Well, I'm excited. It's wonderful to finally see it out in the world, and it's super exciting.
Yes. And I loved your chapter on remember who you are. Right, and you felt like you heard them say, "Marla, remember who you are." What has that been like for you as somebody who's done so much to need a reminder of that sometimes? Where were you in that moment? How do you feel like you stay there in the message that you want your readers to have?
Well, that that message came 10 years ago, and it's continually evolving. It really is. It really is. It's for me, it's about deepening how it's showing up as a deepening relationship with nature. Heiko.
Hey.
Echo.
It, it is being reminded often that I have value and worth, that I'm connected to nature and my ancestors, that if I don't sing my song, it's not going to get sung, right?
Yes. And that's beautiful, and what I love about Christine, what you say about community, right? And how community shine, we are mirrors to each other sometimes, and uplifting the song to that person when they forget all that they do, all that they are, all that they have done, right? Um, but I love the relationship between that, having community to say, hey, remember this about you, or remember what you wanted. And also, Marla, what you're saying, and let me know if this is not how you meant it. When I think about it, I think about how our stories compound, right? And you might know part of it. We know the part that I shared about not knowing my mom. We know the different details that we've shared, right? But you were the only person that feels the compound weight of that. So your community can love you, they can help you hold space, they can help you through situations and connect you to resources, but nobody really understands as much as you're going to understand. They can again be empathetic and sympathetic, but you're the person that's going to sing your song the way that all of it combined is going to sound all together, so that's what I love about Women Connected in Wisdom, and allowing each person to tell her own story instead of us being like, we are the experts, we know a lot of cool people, let's tell you what we think we remember about what they said. Instead, we could just bring you on and you can meet Marla, you can meet Sula, you can meet Coach Co, and Coach Co can tell you about the classroom and sing her song about being a teacher post COVID, instead of us caring about teachers, absolutely championing, what's the word? Championing?
Championing.
Lord,
It's
championing.
one of those words that has trouble coming out of mouth.
Champion.
Let's
Champion.
say encouraging. Okay.
Yeah.
We all been talking too
Encouraging, right? And it's why we
much.
need editors and everybody, right? But encouraging the teachers, but nobody knows what that's like. But the teachers right now. So I love it. I love how you say that. Thank you.
I want to jump in here, Shannon, and then we'll
Yes.
welcome Coach Co. But
Yeah, let's do it.
Sula, most people don't know, and I know this because Sula and I used to walk to middle school together. But Sula is an incredible singer and has another name, a songbird, and so this conversation about singing our songs back to each other, and I also think about an interplay. Marla and I are both interplay leaders, and
Yeah.
we have a song we have a form that we do in interplay where we literally walk people through how to sing their song back to themselves, and it's a very powerful embodied resource for somebody that's forgotten their song. And Marla is incredible at this because she teaches people how to tap into their soul songs. And so that's part of her coaching and her leadership in interplay, and has been really magical. So I love that we're having that conversation about singing our songs to each other and to ourselves and to the world. Yeah, thank you, Marla. And speaking of singing, Coach Co.
Hey, get it, get it, get it.
Hey.
Hey.
I've
Hi.
seen you in 3 different locations today. Uh,
Yeah.
I am assuming that you are coming to us from home, but I don't wanna make that assumption. But
Yes,
I'm
I am
is
at
it home?
home. Yeah.
Loving that Prince poster behind you. That is fabulous.
Yay! I love
Right?
him. Love him.
Absolutely. Oh. So we were asking Sula before Marla and Courtney, before y'all joined us, what are you doing for self-care today?
Mhm.
In the middle of this
Oh,
lunch, in the middle of today, of Tuesday, while we're all working and out here hustling, what'd you do for yourself today?
baby, when I tell you when I got off, I went to the store and got me some chips. I got some Lay's, some Oreos and a Coke Zero, and whenever I get in this bed, child, it's gonna be on and popping. Self-care,
Yes.
self-care. I don't
Things that
like being
spark
an
joy.
emotional eater, but hey, we celebrating, you know?
Mhm. And I think it's good to have a balance, things that spark joy. You wanna be that excited about it. So, no judgment. I'm here for it.
I got the
Yeah.
thin Oreos. I got the thin one.
How do you like those?
Yes.
I was wondering about the ratio because I like the cream, but I like the crunchy part. How do you like the
I
thin better
like
than the
it. I
original?
like those. I like those
Okay.
because I don't like too much cream.
Mm.
Like, biting into it. It's like double stuff. I'm not a double stuff person. So
Mm-mm. I hear you. Okay.
So I
What
did
about
a
you,
little
Christine?
the occupational self care
What'd you
today.
do,
I worked
Marla?
on a business plan.
How was that for you?
Very good. It's very satisfying.
Good. Good. And that part of the work being the self-care, because sometimes we talk about sometimes you have to go slow, right? And that's what Dr. Kemp is sharing about, how it's good to go slow, how we're conditioned to go so fast. But sometimes it can be the getting it done that helps you feel better. And that's why it was really important to me to include Dr. Dalton Smith's work with the 7 types of sacred rest. Right? Because
mhm,
we could talk about the system of how to work effectively, how to communicate with your team, how to do all these things, but rest is usually not included. And when I say rest, it's not just going to sleep. It might be sensory rest. Maybe we need less music, less lights, less outward social interactions, how you were talking about earlier, Co. Or maybe it is, hey, like when Co and I co work or when Christine and I co work, we need to just get in and get stuff done. And that actually helps me feel rested and restored because now I know it's off of my list. That's
absolutely.
good.
Absolutely. Whenever you said that sensory, that is something that I just learned about. I want to say as becoming a teacher, like becoming like a full-time teacher,
Hmm.
I learned that I have sensory overload, and sometimes I just have to sit in my room in the dark and maybe scroll on Instagram and get
Hmm.
some decompression and just not have any noise on, or if I have something, it has to be white noise like rain sounds.
Hmm.
So, and it's like one of those things like I don't feel like watching anything or anything that's thought provoking or anything like that. It's just sensory. Just need to.
Yes. Especially being in the school with so many voices, having to be on and accommodate people at different times throughout the day, it makes
Hmm.
perfect sense.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say, Christine? What have you been doing for self-care today?
Well, I wasn't really. I've been taking care of this cold and bumping in between lives, but so I've been eating the yummy soup that my sweetheart made me because he knew it
Mm,
was a big day with the launch, and so shout out to Joe
shout out
and
to
all
Joe.
our partners behind the scene who keep us going. He made a
Yes.
delicious onion and mushroom soup, like to get all
Mm,
those good antioxidants and things in there. Marla, you weren't here earlier, but I came home from camping with a cold, and which is truly a bummer for today. But delighted to be here. But I was thinking about what you said about the different types of rest, Shannon. And I was thinking about, especially for all of us on the call who just did this big thing, right? We did this big project. We wrote the chapters. Marla designed it. Like a lot of effort, a lot of creativity went into this book. For those of y'all that are listening or watching later, when you buy it today, hopefully today or tomorrow on Amazon, you'll see like it's beautiful and it's this beautiful work of stories and resources. And one of the types of rest is creative rest, that when you've done a big thing like that, you need to pause
mhm.
and take in other people's creativity, whether that's from going to an art museum or watching like something on TV that is somebody else's art or
Right.
reading somebody else's book, like taking a moment to pause the output to bring other things in, to bring it back into balance. So I was thinking about that today. And, we're not there yet. We don't pause until we're through this campaign, but it's on the horizon.
Right. And there's still points.
Right? There are
Yeah.
still points along the way, right? A little
Mhm.
bit of rest. The other self care I have done is in between lives. I've gone and lied down for just a few minutes to get horizontal and
Good.
um, yeah, and drinking a lot of hot tea today. But
Yeah.
I put for our listeners, I put the link, and I shortened the link because I realized how long that link was.
I know,
I put
right?
a link in the comments for people to be able to go directly to where the ebook is. And y'all, the reason we've been popping on and off all day is for the next couple of days only. Will the book be $1.99, and then it'll go back up to regular price. So we hope you will join us in getting it and giving your feedback. We right now, Marla, this is a new update. Right now, we have 18 reviews that have come in, and we have been reading a few of these on the lives. I
Mhm.
wanted to, I wanted to tell y'all about, wait, where is it? I saw this one right when we were getting off last time, and I'm like, oh, remember to read this one. Let me see if I can find it for y'all. Because basically what it was asking for was an audiobook. And yes, there is an audiobook coming. Um,
Mhm.
and so it is coming. But oh, here it is. The A Foster gave us 5 stars and said an exquisite collection of inspiring short stories from women we can all relate to. Crossing my fingers that an audio version is soon to follow.
Mhm.
So, yes,
Yes.
A. Foster, an audiobook is soon to follow with the authors reading their words in their voices.
Mhm.
Because, that is what we're about, is lifting up our authors' voices.
So before I go, because I have to hop on another call, I wanted to ask, what would that look like and sound like for like an audiobook? Do you want like how would you describe it to our listeners and our readers? Like, is that something that's going to be like exciting, exclamation, relaxing? Like, what will you describe the audiobook's vibe?
Ooh.
Ooh, that's a great question.
Mhm.
So I will say, if I had to vote and put it on one word and not think about it, right? It's probably calming because throughout it, and let's say volume one, even volume two, we have 18 authors and 12 authors, right? I read the bios. So throughout it, they're going to hear your excited voice, right? They're going to hear Jailon's excited voice for volume two. But in between that, they're going to hear my calming voice. It's a little quieter. I found out I talk quiet when I started going to the studio, right? Um, and the stories that we tell, even with your excited tone, right? It's encouraging, it's supportive, it's letting people know that they're not alone. And so, even with your excitedness, talking about financial wisdom, excuse me, financial wellness, and your second chapter was on social, right? Is on social again. I think that even if you're excited and they hear your personality, which they will with all of our different voices, they're going to leave feeling calm and reassured and supported because that's the feedback we've consistently gotten.
Love that. That's amazing.
Thank you.
I
Good
would say if
question.
I had to sum it all up, Coach
Yeah.
Co, I would say authentic.
Mm, I
Ooh.
like that.
Touch all the feels. Because all our stories touch all the feels. And
Yeah.
then you get the quotes in the book. The only thing that the audiobook is missing is Marla's beautiful graphics. Like, that's the only thing that the audiobook is going to be missing. It's going to give it a different layer, though, because I don't know if y'all ever do this. You know how you read a book, and then if you listen to the audio, you're like, oh, that was not the voice I had in my head for that,
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And so I think that part's going to be interesting. I think it's going to give a different layer to getting to know our authors,
Hmm.
like
Mhm.
how they read it and how they, because a sentence, have y'all ever done that exercise where you have one sentence and it means 6 different things depending on where you put the inflection on the word?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what I'm excited for the audiobook
That makes
because
sense.
we're going to put our own projections when we read the story, but then we're going to hear it in the author's voices and hear what their intention was with their words. So I don't know. I think it's juicy. I'm excited to read again. Like, we've read it multiple times through the editing process and all the things, but I always like when I get it in hand to read it again and then to listen to it.
Yeah.
I think it will be delightful.
I
It's
can't
gonna
wait
be
for
good.
that.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
gonna be good.
Right?
And
That's
I'm
a
You
great
having
I
a
question.
agree.
party. So you
I
guys come through.
What were you
go,
gonna
Mark.
say, Marla?
I too, like, I feel like I need to go back and read. You know, when you're reading and editing, it's a different kind of, you know, and you're in the document, it's a different kind of reading. And
Mhm.
I very much enjoyed everyone. First of all, can I just say this, that the quality of the essays and the quality and depth of knowledge of the authors is so beautiful. It really is. Yeah, it's a lot, and I really enjoyed both yours, Sue, both of yours, Coach Co, and yours, Sue. I really, I mean, all yours,
Mhm.
Christine, and yours, Shannon, too. Both, all of them
Yeah,
were so
Thank
yeah.
you.
wonderful. Hmm.
I did. I did enjoy it. I really enjoyed Sula's chapter, and I really enjoyed Cecile's chapter. It was
Mhm.
so. I just felt like it was so profesh. Like it was
And
so.
she is,
Like it
isn't
was
she
so
like,
professional.
it's good.
Yes, yeah. I was
Yeah.
just like, oh my god, these ladies are so freaking awesome. Like that's how I was when I was reading it. Awesome. And Marla, your graphics are so. I just constantly get so many so many great feedbacks on that. Like people just love and think the book is so beautiful.
Mhm.
One of our reviewers said, Rosario Colley said, gave us 5 stars and said, this book gives all the feels, very relatable and encouraging. So, I mean, I think, this is what we're about at Women Connected in Wisdom. We're about showing up how we are, being authentic, and speaking our truth.
Hmm.
Even though some, like, y'all, all these stories are not like happy, like the rose-colored glasses. These are some real stories, y'all. Like, this is our authors are a diverse group of women, all ages, from their 20s into their 80s. Again, which is fascinating because that's what happened last book. Different ages, different authors. Um, Diverse ethnic backgrounds, diverse racial backgrounds, and place backgrounds. That's what's fascinating to me with this volume. One of our authors is from Alexandria, Egypt, this time. Last time we had an author from Canada. Like, we're getting more international. And it's fascinating how we have our differences, but we have so much commonality around wellness and around sh- struggle may be the right word, but struggling to be in balance with wellness and
Yeah.
use all our tools and all our resources.
And when you talk about authenticity, I think that's the human experience. Like we talk about in the definition of work-life balance, of occupational wellness, when we use what Stacey Abram uses, the verbiage work like Jenga, because it's not going to be in balance.
Hmm.
And that was one of the most interesting things that I found out in one of my undergrad classes for gender studies was actually that sometimes we're marketed that men and women are so different, right? When really there's more similarities between men and women. If you're looking at those two as the categories, right? There's more similarities than our differences. You might find more differences between two individuals who consider themselves women, even
Hmm.
though that you would say they're in the same category. So there's a lot of things that overlap. And like you said, struggle and things that we can't get rid of, grief that touches everybody's life, which is why we all have to be intentional about our wellness and then maintaining it. And if we're doing that for ourselves and community, there's going to be a lot of things that overlap.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
gonna leave it like this before I head
Okay.
out. My mom, who is 72 years old, was
Mm.
so moved by Women Connected in Wisdom, Volume 1, because of what Christine said. Because my mom loves women, always in the ministry of working with women, she was
Yes.
very moved by the fact that there were so many women from different backgrounds, different things, and different experiences. She appreciated that so much. And I was just like, I didn't even think about it like that, mom. But thanks for the insight. Like, thanks for the insight.
Yes.
My mom, lost her mom when she was young, at a young age in her early 20s, and she lost her sister that was like a second mom. So she was able to relate to a lot of different things that we were going through. Mother, being so so many women can walk through this and understand from so many different perspectives. Don't sleep on your age at all. Don't sleep on your age.
Right. And what I found is that because the older generation saw the separation more vividly than we
Yeah.
physically saw it in person or have seen it or experienced it, we know there's things that we still walk through, but That's the one of the main pieces of feedback that I hear from the older generation. Like, wow, I really appreciate the diversity because that's not always how it's been.
Coach Co, what's your mama's name?
Liz, her real name's Elizabeth, but we call her Liz.
All right,
Liz.
Mama Liz. Thank you. Thank
Yes,
you,
thank you.
Mama Liz. We honor you. Thank you for birthing and raising such an amazing woman as Coach
Mhm.
Co. Like, we just gratitude, gratitude, gratitude for that connection.
Yes.
Yes, thank you so much. And you guys have a wonderful rest of your launch day. I'm going to keep on promoting and cutting up over here, okay?
Yes, thank you. Enjoy yourself.
Bye.
Peace. So, Sula, I wanted to ask you, and I'm glad that you've been able to get all the flowers and all the love for your chapter, right? How has it been for you being in company with Women Connected in Wisdom through this process as we have the lives and everything getting up to this point of launching?
It's just been this amazing journey. I had a lot of unexpected anxiety today, which, and another thing I did for my self-care was been drinking chamomile and lavender tea all day. But it's a
Beautiful.
reminder that even really exciting things and really fun and positive things can have a impact on you in ways that you don't know. I did want to say, for this whole project, and right now the connected part really stands out in this book. It's like every single one of the stories, um, it's like the thing that is connecting us is the sharing of the wisdom. We want to be a contribution to this gigantic audience, and it's this human audience. The thing that connects us as humans is our desire to connect to other humans, connect to humanity. And I feel like this project has just really brought that front and center in my life. And it's exactly where I'm supposed to be. And I'm very grateful for all of y'all.
I love it. Yes, and grateful to have you here. Grateful to uplift your story and thank you for your transparency and sharing. And it reminds me, I was thinking about somebody that I lost in my family. Actually, also lost an aunt to a fentanyl overdose, right? And I didn't know this person because of the way families are set up. This was a sister of my stepmom, and I hadn't met her, but still, for it to affect the family directly, that's something that you have to consider working through. And okay, in your position, connected to this person, and thinking about self-care being an all-time job, what does that look like? You know, and how you were saying the thing that keeps us together is wanting to look for how do we do that? It reminds me of when, again, in the chapter I talk about leaving Papado, and I had the server that was yelling at me in the kitchen, right? The general manager was looking for her. I said, "Oh, there she is." She was going to walk out the door. I said, "Oh, she's leaving the kitchen, XYZ." She came in, was upset. I wasn't looking for you. She was looking for you, right? General manager took care of it. So she's talking to this young lady. There wasn't anything for me to say. You were taking care of it as a person that was looking for me. She's acting out. You were taking care of your team member. I'm going to leave it alone. Right. And we were having another conversation later. She said, "Well, Shannon, you're going to leave to go do Women Connected in Wisdom. How are you going to connect women to wisdom and wellness if that's how the conversation went?" I said, "Well, our audience is looking to be connected to wisdom. They're working on getting better, right? That's not what she was doing in that moment. And so it is not for everybody. Sometimes it is not to be connected that we feel like we need in that season, right? If we're going through a lot, or sometimes it's not what we're open to if we don't have people in our environment. How you said that might be asking, "Hey, can I share this right now?" If you're not in a place and by yourself is where you need to be to heal, or that's where you want to be. Sometimes it's not for everybody. But I love that we have found so many people that want to be connected, that are benefiting from the connection, that see the inspiration, the authenticity, and what happens when you share your story and the growth and the healing that can come from it, even if you had to take isolation first to then get to this place to be able to share. And yeah, it's been an honor to be able to create a platform that is looking for those people around the world. Because when we talk about business, again, we want to be able to help everybody as helpers, but not everybody is your target audience, right? If there's billions of people in the world, can your small business handle a million incoming leads that want to pay you right now? Maybe not, so it's okay that it's not everybody. And I'm grateful for everybody who's been connected and everybody who's on the way. And again, super grateful for you ladies and your work that you've done this year to continue to show up for everything that we're doing and for sharing your story in volume 2 because it is special to have you ladies as an author and not just as a speaker on the podcast, but in the cohort and in the community. So thank you so much.
Mm. Before we end this live, Marla, you have anything you want to shout out that you have coming up in addition to this book launch?
Yes, thank you for asking. I have a program that I am launching in November called You. It's about you, a love story and journey of discovery. And it's about self-love, it's about remembering who you are, it's about all of those things, and we're doing it in an embodied way, as you know, Christine, because we're both interplay leaders. So I would love to invite everyone to join me on Saturday, November 11th from 10 to 12 Pacific for a 2-hour deep dive into you.
Sure, and tag us on social media and we'll share it with everybody too, Marla, because it
I sure
looks
will.
fabulous.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll put it in the community like we did Cynthia and Ray Lee's retreat. I love
Yeah,
that. You, that's
Thank
important,
you.
of
absolutely.
course. What
Sula, I
about
know you've
yeah.
got a couple of things you've been working on. You have anything you're ready to announce yet?
I do not have anything ready to announce yet, but I will shortly.
Right? And when you do, we will lift that up and share with her. The big announcement, y'all, is she has a new book out. I know it's
Right?
shocking, but she has a new book out
Yes.
today called Women Connected in Wisdom, Volume 2, Rooted in the Eight Dimensions of Wellness.
Right?
So,
Yeah,
so
What
beautiful.
about
grateful
you?
to
What
each
about
of
you, Christine? Do you have more things
always
outside of
going on. I
Yeah, what's
always
coming
have
up?
stuff going on. I teach class every Tuesday, Radical Self and Community Care. Taught that this morning. And I have my link tree that I have on my socials that everybody can find out what I have going on. Big thing is this new book, right?
Yeah.
Right now, I'm excited about lifting up these new authors and their voices and their platforms. And yeah, we also Interplay as an organization. We have a performance intensive coming up the first weekend of November, which I'm going to head out to Oakland and spend a little time out there in person with my interplayers, and that'll be fun. I'm not leading it; I'm just there as tech support and
There to
having
have
fun. But
Yeah.
um, that's the other thing is I often talk about interplay on the air, but I just want to invite folks because Marla's a leader. We have several leaders that have been authors in
Mhm.
our program to check out interplay.org because it's an incredible resource. We just had a week
Mhm.
of free interplay that I don't know about you, Marla, but I wish I would have had time to go to all of them. Like I was out of town when you had your class, and I just every time I play in that space, I'm just in awe of the different people we're connected to through Women Connected in Wisdom, through Interplay, through our different resources. It's like these beautiful circles just keep growing and expanding and growing. So, Shannon, you
And
want
it's
to folks know? Oh, go ahead, Marla.
And I would like to echo what you said. Coming out of this last week, the International Week of Interplay, the events that I was able to attend were so special. It's always so special just to really be reminded how actually part of remembering who we are is remembering how special and important the body is, right?
Mhm.
And I just it was such a beautiful week. I just reflected all week about every single time I touched into that space. It was so lovely.
Love it.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, and for what I have coming up in my self-care, let's see, what I've been doing throughout our launch for this self-care is making sure I'm hydrated, right? Clearly, you guys have seen this cup all day long. So staying hydrated, taking breaks, making sure that I'm eating and out in the sun multiple times throughout the day. So it's been good. And of course, connecting to the ladies. This is part of my self-care is giving space for you to share. Right. I love having conversations like that on the phone, through email, hearing about what's been working for you and what works right now. Because, like we talked about, sometimes it's different seasons. So, getting up to date, um, what tips and tricks and things that you can add into your habits is great. And what I have coming up. So we've been talking about SMART goals, and Co talked about it earlier, how I have talked her through some different steps of accountability and things that we can make specific and measurable and have a time stamp on it to get done for goals. So if you need help with that, you can absolutely work with me. I do have space, and it'll be the same type of thing that we'll have in the community, working with the authors. So if you want time with me to help you either get physically fit, that's what I have a few calls coming up for. People want to know how I lost the 50 pounds and have kept it off for years. If you want to know how to be an author, if you want to know, I helped a nursing student one time organize her planner. You know, if you want to go into the planner and your time management and how to move blocks, we can get into where you are right now and I can walk you through that. And of course, if you're interested in being a podcast speaker, Jailon talked about in her chapter how she just wanted to speak. If you want to just speak or you're thinking about being an author, there's links for that where you and I can talk. And if it's a good fit, we can talk to Christine and talk about bringing you into the community. So, a couple of different things. And we have the monthly Glow Club meetups. If you want to talk, like Marla was talking about intentional physical wellness and how we do that with Shalo Glow. You like in person meetings, you love our lives, right? Virtually, but you also like to meet in person. We have that, and you can find all of that on the link tree in my bio.
Beautiful.
Woohoo!
Yes, excited.
All right,
Good
y'all.
job,
Before
ladies.
we get out of here,
Mhm.
let's tell folks one more time why
Yes.
we're here and what we're doing. We are celebrating the release of the Women Connected in Wisdom, Volume 2,
Mhm.
Stories and Resources Rooted in the Eight Dimensions of Wellness. We're encouraging everybody to go get your ebook for $1.99
Yes.
today, tomorrow. We're not sure if the price is going up Friday or Saturday, but
Mhm.
it's going up soon. And come join us. Come
Yes.
join us and read our stories and give us your feedback and connect with our authors and read about these incredible resources and things that have worked for different people at different times in their life and in order to maintain our dimensional wellness.
Right. You are invited.
You are
Absolutely.
invited, you are welcome, and we're glad you're here. We're glad to be connected.
Yes.
So,
Okay, ladies. See you tomorrow, and we're going live at 10:30 and 1. So if you want to join us, see us back here then.
all right,
Okay.
appreciate y'all.
Peace.